If you're watching this, you're probably excited for our new expansion pack, The Sims 4 Growing Together. We got an official reveal trailer and also an official gameplay trailer, which seriously did not scratch the surface of what this expansion is going to bring to the game. So I want to talk about the infants update first. When we think about getting a totally new life stage for The Sims 4, it is definitely overwhelming. Not only did we get new infants, a new life stage, we also have new objects representing this big change. We have a new bassinet for the not toddlers, but the newborns. I love the new bookshelf on the wall. We got new toys for the infants and toddlers. We also have a playpen, which technically is not an actual object like in The Sims 3. I do like this idea because you can basically expand the playpen as wide or as small as you'd like. There's baby proofing. If you truly want them to stay inside, they can stay inside. And so it's the same thing as a playpen, no different, and you can actually customize how big you want the playpen. We do have some new base game infant beds or cribs, shall I say. We have a pack and play style, just more traditional styles. We even have new toddler beds, which is kind of nice too that they've incorporated that stage in as well. I do love the more modern look for the toddler bed, but I am just absolutely obsessed with the infant cribs. You can also drag the pack and play into your inventories. They're also bringing a new feature to the game where you can now have a science baby. Now I know you're probably thinking, what is a science baby? Well, that is just a nice little Sims term for having a baby, for example, through surrogacy or through IVF. All in all, you do not need to have traditional woohoo and try for a baby. You can have a science baby. So here they're showing that Eliza is going to have a science baby with Bella. So she's asking her like, hey, you want to have a baby together? Have a science baby with Bella. Eliza Pancakes will make a quick trip to the hospital and boom, we're going to get ready to go. That's 1,200 simoleons. She then is happy as if she is having a baby herself, and it's a girl. So, you name your baby, and here's the baby right there. And here we have the option to entertain. So Big Brother can go over there and entertain as opposed to just being able to talk to the baby. And here they're aging the baby up. So Amelia aged up. And one of the most interesting things to me is that infants actually have traits as well. So here I saw cautious, sensitive, calm, intense, wiggly, and sunny, and this is going to determine what kind of baby your infant is. And I forgot to mention that newborns also have temperament now, so newborns can be amazing or they can be super fussy, and that's actually a real thing in the game. Like, you don't really know your newborn's temperament, so you may have one easy baby or a newborn, and then the next newborn is like not that great. Heading into Creative Sim, we see the outfits and clothing choices that they've added for infants. So being that this is a new life stage, I do feel like they've added enough, but with The Sims 4 Growing Together, you will have additional outfits and hairstyles. Love this bear onesie. It is the most adorable thing. Now, I know that some people are saying that these infants look like toddlers. Now, an infant age range is from 0 to 12 months, and 12 months is basically a 1-year-old. And a toddler is anywhere from 12 months, which is 1 year old, to 36 months. So there is a difference, and I feel like The Sims 4 channeled the perfect mixture of that 0 to 12 months range. Looking at what you just saw here, they did add some really nice little infant accessories like the helmet to help the baby's head, stay round, and, glasses. So I really appreciate the attention to detail. We do have a couple of hair choices. Some of them are reminiscent of toddlers. Really especially love this one, which shows just like a little bit of hair growth, the little wispiness of, an infant's hair, and then these tiny little puffballs, which are really cute. Coming to base game as well, we will have skin details such as stretch marks and birthmarks. This kind of makes this great for people that cannot have CC or people that have had it and just want to lessen the load. You are actually getting these realistic skin details. Also, coming to base game, you can choose whether your sim is able to produce milk or not, because if you choose to have your sim breastfeed their child or not. Continuing on with the live stream, they then show us just simply how infants will look in our games. So right here, Eliza is giving the baby or infant a bath. Another thing worth mentioning, which was explained here, was that infants also grow a level of attachment to their caregivers. So here we do have some mood buffs with the baby, and when they click on Amelia, she's feeling very well cared for. If your sim does a great job at caring for their infant, just like how toddlers can grow up with a top-notch toddler trait just because they were cared for very well, the same thing works for infants. So earlier you saw that baby Amelia did not want to take the bottle earlier, and then now she's just peacefully drinking her bottle. I do love that infants also have feeding preferences as well, as far as bottle versus breast and everything. I do love how we also have to burp our infants after. We're going to actually help Amelia try her first baby food. It will tell you if this sim has never tried this food before, if your infant likes it, hates it, or if they're unsure about it. But here it says, Amelia was unsure about mashed peas. Maybe this food will need to be explored again. Amelia is a cautious sim. She appreciates the familiar but are slow to warm up to new experiences. So she may not say, oh my gosh, I totally love mashed peas. She may be really unsure about it, and it takes her a little bit of time to warm up. And here Iggy is about to play peekaboo with his little sister. I love the animation for this. So here he's covering his eyes and she's looking at him from across the room, and she did not like that at all. She's actually pretty tired. She didn't want to play peekaboo right now because she's tired, but maybe, in a couple hours she'll be ready to go. But here is the new crib. It actually has the mobile, which you can upgrade it to attach the mobile. If you don't want that, then you don't need to. And here Eliza is putting baby Amelia to bed, and we are still only touching base game. This is only the base game update. You can soothe the baby to sleep, you can play lullabies, and look at just how adorable this is. And now we move on to the Sims 4 Growing Together expansion pack. We start off in Create a Sim, and as you can see, there is a plethora of new outfits for these adorable infants. There are some new Create a Sim items across all ages, but I did want to especially highlight the new freckles and beauty marks and skin details that are specifically exclusive to Growing Together. One more thing I want to highlight before we get into the super juicy things in Create a Sim is that they've actually included a nice handful of beautiful ethnic hairs. The texture and the meshes of these hairs are just absolutely beautiful. One of the biggest changes in Create a Sim is now your households can have a family dynamic, such as supportive, jokesters, difficult. That means what's your relationship with another sim? Jokesters, for instance, Myra and Ron, whenever they're together, they'll probably joke a lot. They just vibe with each other that way. And as far as his daughter, it's a difficult family dynamic. So maybe they might not want to be in the same room together because it's a little tense between the two sometimes. This can be chosen by you if you open up Create a Sim for the first time and you make your family, or you can have this discovered. There's also a new music station called Soul Music, so that is also in the preferences as well. Sims characteristics are going to definitely determine your social compatibility with your Sims, which is something new that the Sims 4 Growing Together adds, a compatibility system. So if Ron does not like argumentative Sims, if you are someone that likes to argue and combat, he's not going to vibe with you that well. He doesn't like it. He likes high energy Sims, doesn't like pessimistic Sims, loves spirited Sims. When you head over to conversation topics, this is going to be what your Sim likes to talk about. Carrie here loves to complain and loves to argue with people, loves deep thoughts and hates affection. She's not for the hugs and kisses from mom and dad. Adults did not get any new aspirations, but children actually got new aspirations in this pack. You can click on the new multi-skill aspiration, which will open up several other aspirations. The base game children aspirations focus more on a child's particular skill, whereas these new aspirations will combine different interactions for them to do that aren't just solely focused on a particular skill. So here's the map for San Sequoia, and initially I know to some it may look small. I'm just used to getting smaller worlds in The Sims 4 now, especially after Windenburg. I think that was the last super big world that we've gotten. Initially it does look kind of dry. When you head into that more suburban part of the world, you'll see some cars some homes have cars in the driveways, which had me thinking, are cars coming to The Sims 4? So we instantly head into to the relationships panel and you can see that some puzzle pieces are connecting on Sims and other ones, for example, with Ron and Kara, are not. That is the social compatibility. It'll tell you what kind of compatibility you have with that specific Sim. And that's where the preferences and likes and dislikes and all of that kind of come into play with this Sim in particular. If you have good compatibility, obviously your relationship will increase quicker. If you have bad compatibility, it'll actually be a little bit more difficult to get closer to that Sim, and the relationship bar will increase slower than usual. The pie menu has changed, so everything has a specific category that the conversation is in. For example, if you want to get to know a Sim or ask them about their day, that is obviously going to be in the small talk category. Grandma can go to affection, sneak a treat for her grandbaby, give her something special. There was also an interaction that said, "You're my favorite." So, you're not supposed to have a favorite grandchild or something, but you can actually do that. So there are new interactions based on the age. "Aren't you the sweetest little thing?" Like, that is obviously a age appropriate interaction for grandma here, and I think that's super cool. And look, she's trying to give her something, but hey, remember, Kara doesn't really like affection, so she easily declined. Next, a new family dynamic pops up. This is what it will look like. This is between Mama and Kara, as we just saw them interacting, where you can change the family dynamic. Your Sims are going to interact with each other according to their family dynamic. Next, in the live stream, you actually get an anonymous call from a Sim named Kyle. He's like, "Hey, you don't remember me? Listen, can I come over and chill for a couple of days?" And you can say, "Sure," or "Not today." Now, Kyle is not the only person that can do this. We're actually about to see Kyle in a few. If your mom or mother-in-law or if your sister wants to kind of come over and pop over and have a stay over, which is basically your family or friends staying over your house for a designated period of time, then they can do that. They might ask you like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a little while. Like, I miss you. Can I stay for a couple of days?" And you can decide that. And here is Kyle. He is super handsome and he is carrying his luggage. So Sims actually now have luggage. This is going to work as like a dresser. You can open it even though it's not your luggage. So you can change your outfit, close it. I love how you can drag the suitcase anywhere. You can place it in your inventory. So if you are traveling with your Sim, just in general, you can bring your luggage and it operates as a wardrobe. So they're clicking on Kyle and they're welcoming him to the house. If you click on Kyle, there's an option that says ask Kyle to relax. So he could just relax, kick his feet back and chill. Or again, like I said, you can ask him to help out around the house, help with the kids. And Kyle actually ended up picking up the infant in the household and actually helping out. I couldn't believe my eyes. It didn't even glitch or anything. So that was kind of cool that he knew the assignment and got to work. You can see from the calendar that Kyle is staying over for about 6 days. You can also initiate a stay over on the calendar as well. And it doesn't have to be as long. I think it's from like 1 to 6 days. And stayovers and sleepovers, yes, I said sleepovers or slumber parties, are a thing and they have different interactions. Essentially, Kyle is going to be a part of this household without being in the household. You obviously can't control him, but he'll help out. He'll do what he can. You can call him to meals and all of that stuff. It's just like if you just had someone staying over at your house that you can actually look at him kissing her. It's so cute. But you can change the baby's outfit. You can change the newborn's outfit. We've never been able to do this before. In Nifty Knitting, I do know that there's something where you can change a newborn outfit, but right from the bassinet, you can change your newborn's outfit into a ton of cute little onesies. So here Ron is, look at it. Look at it, so cute. So that even just gives newborns an extra added layer of depth. Another thing that infants and toddlers can gain are quirks. So obviously they can have their traits, which you can set, but quirks are going to be revealed. So here it says Leo, the infant, loves being held, and Delaney, the toddler, is becoming quite aggressive. Quirks are kind of discovered. You can cheat them. And say you don't want a baby that loves being held or a baby that sneezes a lot. You just want, you just want to make it whatever you want to make it, you can. There are 18 quirks for infants and 18 quirks for toddlers. So as you can see, Leo loves being held, but he frequently sneezes. And so there is a total of 3 quirks, I believe, that they can obtain, which can lead to a ton of different combinations and really make your infant or toddler feel very unique. Sims now have milestones, which means these are going to be the things that your Sims have achieved. Milestones for infants are incredibly important because as we're alive, they are going to track the progression that your infant is making in their lives. So when they're born, when they were able to sit up for the first time, when they were able to smile for the first time, they also have like a grayed out circle. So whereas Leo here just rolled over to his back, if you go to the grayed over circle, you'll see what comes next and what you could do next to unlock that next milestone. Adults have milestones as well. So if you got your first promotion, reached the top of your career, had a baby, got married. When you view these milestones, initially they just look like icons and you may think to yourself, this is going to get repetitive. She had her first woohoo. But the Sims team wanted these milestones to look more than just icons, especially for the adult life stage or, young adult life stage, which is why you see that Ron, the dad here, his bladder is about to completely deplete because there is an important memory, I guess you could say, that comes with this. But something as simple as getting married, you now will have nice little objects that come along with that, like a certificate of marriage, for instance. There's also a new photo frame that you can get as well. The baby's print, when you have a baby, you get that keepsake of the baby's handprint. So you're not just having these milestones and they're not just an icon. You are actually getting little rewards. Here we have Ron, who just had an accident. And as you can see, it says first, and it has that little toilet icon where he just hurt himself. And it says first bladder failure in Sequoia Cottage. Say they move and they come back to the slot for whatever reason, he will get an embarrassed moodlet, for example, because he remembers that he had a bladder failure here at Sequoia Cottage. Sims can also now have midlife crisis. So a adult Sim can have a midlife crisis. As you can see, there are a couple of things that Ron can do here to mitigate his midlife crisis. He can work on a steampunk, fly a majig for 5 hours, hunt for travel. These are the things that would make him feel better and get out of his midlife crisis. Now, if you don't care as the player for his midlife crisis, you don't have to do any of these things and you can just have him go through his midlife crisis. Sims can now have workplace rivals. So work just got quite interesting. Ron here has a workplace rival with Bella Goth, always getting in the way. A work rival blocks the path to promotion. The gurus made a joke, they've added all this fun stuff for infants and toddlers and all of this. And it just seems like adults just got the short end of the stick. Now we're going to take it back to kids. As you can see here, Kara has a creative genius aspiration and she has to achieve level 3 creativity skill, play pretend in the treehouse. You can kind of see a little glimpse of that aspiration there. They've actually revamped the skill system for children, which we'll get into in a minute. But I really want to talk about what they've added, which is confidence for children. So kids can either have high confidence and believe in themselves or have low confidence and get hurt when they're criticized. So as a parent, Ron can actually come over here, go to compliments and praise Kara for her effort on social growth. Maybe she's been talking to more people and putting herself out there, as he can also criticize or lack of social growth, which could hurt her confidence, which I don't know why you would want to do that. Just kidding. But if you're storytelling, hey, it's what it is. If Kara continues to have a high confidence leading into her teen years, then she'll actually grow up with high self-esteem. And if she enters her teenage years with low confidence, she could have low self-esteem. Now let's move on to skills. So now if your Sims are gaining a particular skill, the icon will show up above the skill bar for the skill that they are actually gaining. So right now she is gaining the creativity skill, but skills are actually going to be split into 2 separate categories for children now. They'll have their fundamentals, which are their skills, and then the regular skills, which are teen through elder skills. So for example, she's building creativity as a child, which is filling up quite fast. And then she's also building the piano skill, which is filling up slower than her creativity, but she's still gaining an adult skill essentially. So she will not only have her creativity, she will grow up knowing how to play piano as well. Next is the treehouse. As you can see, Kara here is building mental, dad is building handiness, and so is grandma. There are a ton of really cool interactions with the treehouse as well. You can set decorations, set admission rules, you can play pretend. There are 3 decoration types and they're really cute and they're like the art is just so adorable. And I love how imaginative this is. Just watching the child use their imagination and the art that shows up around their head. I think it's so adorable. You can upgrade the treehouse, give it a special bell. You can even add lights to the treehouse. All of the upgrades, like I said, the sliding pole. This totally keeps gameplay interesting for me. I love that they can interact this much with the treehouse. I love how you can go into build mode and also just grab an item and slot it in where you can fit it in the treehouse. So you could add a little beanbag chair, some toys. I mean, they really added details to this treehouse. Kids can also ride bikes now. Initially, when a child gets a bike, they actually have to practice riding a bike. Children can be taught how to ride a bike. It's funny because Ron, remember how he had that workplace rival? It actually shows here in the top right-hand corner that he tried to sabotage Bella. So I thought that was kind of funny that randomly popped up when he went to work. But here, as you can see, Kara is trying her best to teach herself how to ride a bike. So although she can get help from an older sim, she doesn't have to. She can try and teach herself how to ride a bike. If your child learns how to ride a bike, that will be considered one of their child milestones. If your child is practicing how to ride a bike, they could potentially lose a tooth, accidentally fall and make that tooth loose. If your sim has a loose tooth, they can wiggle their loose tooth or they can pull it out. Once they pull out their loose tooth, though, they will actually have a gap, which on stream, Kara didn't really smile, so we couldn't see the gap. You just have to wait for that tooth to fill back in, or you can actually elect to fix the missing tooth. And once your sim has a loose tooth, they can actually go up to their bed and place their tooth underneath their pillow and wait for the tooth fairy to come. So you just place under your pillow and then you have your child sim sleep. And once your sim wakes up, they'll actually get a little bit of money, and then they'll have, I think she got 84 simoleons, which is a lot. And then in the inventory, you get a little certificate showing that you lost your tooth. And it's also a milestone. So again, this is one of those milestones that also give you a reward. So again, she can just pull out the tooth fairy certificate, place that on the wall, and she'll remember losing her tooth. Next, we have keepsake boxes, which are little boxes that you can keep a ton of things in and pass on to your family. Like say you make a friendship bracelet, which is something new for the pack. You could place that in a keepsake box. You could place a special picture in the keepsake box. An elder sim can only designate a keepsake box once. So once you choose your keepsake box, you choose an elder who will then designate it that specific keepsake box for the family. You can entrust the keepsake box to the next generation. So this is basically an object that allows you to have something of sentimental value that speaks for the family. When you use the ponder interaction, where you can ponder the meaning of family, doting, and affection, all that stuff, your sim will just sit there and think about what that means to the family. And according to Sim Guru Doi, it can kind of change a family dynamic. Like say you have that box and you ponder the meaning of family and stuff like that, then it could potentially change how you feel. Like maybe you want to be close to your family. Next, we see that Mama has a friendship bracelet in her inventory, and Kara also has a friendship bracelet in her inventory as well. So I guess they made the friendship bracelets for each other. You can actually go to this special little crafts box and make a friendship bracelet with a ton of different options. And I think it's so cute because you can do this, with your friends, family, whatever the case may be. And kids can also access this through their supplies table too. Kara can now exchange her friendship bracelet with Mama. So when they exchange friendship bracelets, they're going to have a new little interaction here, new animation, and they are now wearing each other's bracelets. So Mama has the one that Kara made, and Kara is wearing the one that, her grandmother made, which is kind of cool. And the thing about friendship bracelets is that eventually they will get worn out and they'll fall off. So they won't really have them on their wrist forever. And you can only give friendship bracelets to one sim. There is also a special interaction called Bracelet Buddy Fist Pump that you can give your, whoever you exchange friendship bracelets with. You can also expect 3 new event types. So we now can throw a baby shower, a family reunion, and a slumber party, which will actually have sleeping bags for adults, children, and and toddlers too. They also have slumber sleeping bags as well. They finished off the live stream by showing us the other places that we could visit around the world. There is a little food stall in the nook here that serves a wide array of food. We can also watch movies at the new movie theater. There are different types of movies that you can watch with different genres. It does cost 15 simoleons. I will say that it is a rabbit hole. I do feel like this is really cool for a date night. I will say if you played The Sims 3, you are familiar with rabbit holes. The Sims 4 offers a lot of places that you can actually go. I don't mind this being a rabbit hole because you can essentially make a movie theater by just adding a big screen TV and some chairs. But with this, you can just ensure that your Sims are going to go in, watch a movie, and they have something to do. You could also have another Sim at the local library while you do that as well. Here is the splash pad area where you can play in the water. You can also have an infant in the carrier on your back, and you can still play in the water with them as well. They didn't have time to show carriers in the stream, but I did see that via Twitter. All of the splash pad items you can get from build and buy mode and create your own splash pad park if you like. We do have a new lot type, which is the recreational center. Now, if you've never, or if you're not familiar with the rec center, it's normally a place where you can do just about anything. Play games, go to the pool, work out, do music. There's like a children's area and it's fenced off. So you can bring your toddlers here and, you know, have your moms work out or have a party here. Anything like that. There are these new tables that you can play a new game called Symbols with, and here they are playing symbols together. You can also change the game at another table and play cards or play puzzles. So I think this is really fun to add this again, giving our Sims more to do. With the puzzles, you can choose from the pieces. So you have 50, 100, 250 to 500. You can also choose what kind of puzzle. You can also have or create a custom puzzle from reference. So if your Sim takes a picture of something, the puzzle will then become the picture. And so everyone can do a little custom puzzle, which I think is really cool. And there's the puzzle. It's done. But you can also frame the puzzle. So if you do want to create, I don't know, take a little nice romantic picture and then or family picture and make it a puzzle and frame it, you can do that, which I thought was a nice addition as well. You can also take walks. So you can click on the sign, you can do a power walk or jog around the arboretum. I cannot say that word. If your Sim chooses to power walk around or jog, they'll actually stop and drink their water bottle every so often, which I thought was kind of cute. That kind of sums it up for the live stream. This pack has a lot to offer, and according to the gurus, there's still more that they were not able to show us. So via Twitter, they have been updating and showing us a lot of things, or telling us things that they couldn't have because they simply didn't have time. I hope you all enjoyed the live stream as much as I did. I did just want to just condense this information so you knew what to expect on March 16th and March 14th when the infant update and the pack comes out. So I'm really excited. I hope you all enjoyed this, and let me know what you think right now in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Just keep simming. Always, always, always stay wavy, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.